Research suggests that 70% of people experience something called imposter syndrome at one point in their lives. It's the feeling of inadequacy and self-doubt that persists despite evidence of a lot of success.
It happens to both men and women and frequently occurs when you're going for a goal outside of your comfort zone. UW Health distinguished psychologist Shilagh Mirgain is back with us. This is a very interesting topic, and you had your own personal experience with this imposter syndrome.
I did, and I really want to talk about it because I'm so passionate about people really moving in the direction of their potential. And imposter syndrome can really hold you back. For me, it was when I transitioned to grad school, a lifelong goal of mine, and I had arrived. And I was struck with feeling like people are going to find out that I'm not good enough. I had a lot of anxiety, and it was becoming debilitating. And so first, when we think about imposter syndrome, it's important to really name it to tame it. And imposter syndrome comes up when people feel not good enough. They are afraid of other people knowing that they're not as good as they perceive themselves to be, and it's almost like feeling like a fraud. And so what shifted for me was to share it, to break the silence. And I talked with a friend of mine, and she said, it's imposter syndrome. And when I learned that, it really shifted something for me and freed me. And I think with imposter syndrome, there's a lot of shame, and it can be like a dirty gym bag that we shove in a locker and we want to keep hidden. But if we can talk about how we're feeling, we open up that gym bag and that experience to the light, and that can really start to change things for people.
That's what you mean by name it, to tame it.
Yes.
Right.
So talk to somebody about it.
Yeah, let people know what you're going through to help shift it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So don't ruminate on this. Go forward.
Yep, so that's a second thing, that along with imposter syndrome, people can have a lot of negative thinking. They can start to beat themselves out, ruminate about their mistakes, and one of the best things is to change your beliefs. And I brought an affirmation that I had back in grad school, which was when I felt like, oh, I'm not enough, that I started saying daily, I am enough, I do enough, I have enough. And so if we can change those core beliefs to something more positive, if we change our mind, then our emotions start to shift, because it's actually the emotions of imposter syndrome that are the last to change. Instead, it's our thinking of working with affirmations and really reinforcing the things we're doing well that can change.
So it's not modesty. It's not trying to be self-introspective. It's more being unnecessarily critical of yourself, right?
Yeah, and we tend to focus on the negatives, the things we don't do well, the mistakes we make, and we often don't internalize the successes. So by really shifting our thinking to noticing the good, to highlighting the achievements, to the positive feedback we get, and really put our attention there, where we focus grows. And so it can build some of that inner confidence that can start to shift us out of that imposter syndrome and moving out of our comfort zone into our potential.
Maybe make a list of all your successes that you could refer to?
That's a great idea. Yes, I've known people who have a list or put the little email congratulations in a binder or notebook that they can refer back to. And often when we're going for something new outside our comfort zone, there's going to be anxiety. And I often think we can strap the anxiety in the back seat. It can be along for the ride, but instead really focus on what we want to have happen, and using some visualization. One technique I really encourage people to do is to flick back to some of those past successes, maybe read over that list, and then flick forward, seeing yourself having a similar, if not better, outcome. That's that mental rehearsal that Olympic athletes, professional athletes use. We can use that to provide some inner fuel to help us grow outside that comfort zone.
So when you say that, you're thinking like when you get a new job, or when you're dating someone new, or something, an unusual experience that you don't normally have. That's when it can present itself?
Absolutely. For many people, it's when they're transitioning to something new. It could be when you're going to college, or you try a new job, or you move to a new city, or a new relationship. But it can also happen to really successful people, that they maybe reach a level of success and they feel like maybe I don't deserve to be there. And what can happen is we start to sabotage ourselves, and we start to avoid and not take action. So one of the best things we can do is approach, take action,
and
try things. Yeah, don't be afraid to
Can I
make
put
mistakes.
that on the bulletin board on my desk? I would love to have this.
Shilagh, great advice as usual.
Shilagh, great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.